act a certain way, so he lessened my medication. So one day I walked in and I was very, very motivated. Like, Doc, it's good to see you. I'm feeling great this week. He goes, how are you, Tom? I said, well, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really great. He says, you know, you sound like you're a little high. I'm going to give you this. I want you to take this. I'm like, shit. Now I'm screwed. I'm like, okay. And I take the prescription home. Another week I go in and he's like, how are you? I'm like, I'm really not, I'm not so good today. I'm kind of a little bit down and, I don't know. I'm not feeling so good. Oh, let me give you this. And I couldn't win. And at that point, I realized, you know what? You can't get out of this. You are stuck, and no offense to the pharmaceutical industry. But when you're in this pattern, when you've had this type of psychiatric care, you are screwed. You understand I was screwed? So I'm standing in my house, and I'm looking at like 7 drugs I have to take. Me, the guy who's always telling you not to treat, I'm taking drugs. And I look at this and I go, you know what? Screw this shit. I'm done. I take the drugs, I walk outside of my backyard, I pour them down, I watch them roll down, and I swore to myself I would never, ever take another drug for the rest of my life. Now my mother comes home from work, right? Tommy, did you take your pills today? No. What do you mean no? I said, Mom, I didn't take them. She goes, why? I said, well, because other than not getting an erection and not wanting to be alive anymore, they're not doing anything for me. And if I'm going to go out, Mom, I'm going out on my own terms. So if I'm going to drop dead, I'm going to be in charge of my body, my life, my game. I sink, I swim, my rules. She goes, what the hell happened to you? I said, I don't know. I said, I'm not going to die. I'm going to live, and screw these guys. They're wrong. I know how to fix myself. My father comes home from work. Now, my father, if I never told you about my father was raised in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, no formal education. My father's education was out on the street, and every single guy he grew up with was either in jail or dead, because we come from a neighborhood of gangsters, basically, in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, but we're proud of that because we love our people. So my father was not an educated guy, and he looks at me, and he looks at my mom, and he goes, you know, Loretta, he says he can do it. Let him do it. She goes, are you out of your mind? He can't do it. He goes, no, he says he can do it. Leave him alone. He says he doesn't need the drugs. Give him a chance. From that moment on, I never looked back, and I only went up. And I healed myself in one day. Depression was gone. Anxiety was gone. Everything was gone. Now, why do I bring this up? Because on retroflecting on this and looking back on it, because it took me a while to get my confidence back up, that was the best damn thing that ever happened to me in my entire life. Why? Because I got through that and I survived, and after I survived that hell, there was nothing you could say to me that could ever hurt me emotionally. You couldn't tear me down. You couldn't destroy my indestructible personality, and that situation made me what I am today. So I am grateful that I spent that time in that hospital, and I am grateful that I was medicated, and I was grateful that I got such a belief in the joy of life at such a young age that at the age of 17 years old, I already knew what we're all learning as we get older about how great life is. I knew life was precious, and you couldn't convince me otherwise. And I knew that we should be well, and you couldn't convince me otherwise. And I knew that drugs were poisonous, and you couldn't convince me otherwise because I lived it. Now, most people could have sat there and said, oh, poor me, I'm going to be a drug addict the rest of my life. I'm an antidepressive, manic depressive, and I'm going to be drugged the rest of my life. Because that's what they were telling me I was going to be, but I refused to accept it. And because of my own decision, I survived. And I thrived. So what I want to tell you is I don't care what your background, what kind of hell you've been through, or what you're going through. On the instance of a decision and a change, you could change your life right now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I don't care what your background, who you think you might have been, or who you think you might be. You can do anything you want if you just try and believe and have courage. Because I'm telling you, it works. And I've been like this since the age of 17, and I've been told many times, you can't do that. And I said, yes, I can. How are you going to do that? I'll figure it out. Because the people that were telling me that I couldn't do it didn't do it either. Just like I'm going to give you all this information and you're going to say, you can't do that. Yeah, I know. You're one of those HPUAs. You're one of those high potential underachievers. If you can do better than I can, I'll listen to you. If you could produce more than I can, I'll listen to you. But if you haven't produced anything and you're sitting there trying to tell me what's right and wrong, you're just not looking at yourself. Does everybody agree with this concept? Do you want to learn from people that are earning wealth, or do you want to earn from people that have never made a dollar in their lives and they're going to die broke? I want to learn from the people that have made wealth, and there's nothing wrong with those people. Now understand, and this is a statistic, 97% of Americans die with less than $1,000 in the bank. 97% of us, unless we change our habits, are going to die broke. I don't like that statistic. I'm changing that one. I'm not going to be that one, I can tell you that. And 99% of us die unfulfilled in our dreams of life. So, when I talk about wealth, I know you guys think money. I'm talking about happiness. I'm not talking about money. Money's fine. I'd rather have money than not, but I'm talking about being happy, because I know a lot of wealthy people that are very unhappy, and I know you know them too. So what I'm saying is wealth of mind, wealth of spirit, wealth of joy, wealth of growth, wealth of evolution, wealth on all ends. So anyway, I wanted to just share that quick little story with you because I like that story. And I wanted you to know that about me because I want you to know who I really am in case you didn't know that. But I want you to know I've been to hell. Been there, done that. Not a nice place to go. And to be able to walk out of it and come out alive, I'm very blessed. So I was glad to go, but I'm much more better off being here. I can tell you that much. This is a much better place to be. Okay. So the other thing that successful people do, and this is something I know a lot of people don't do, they actually build a success board and a dream board. Does anybody ever build a dream board? All right, John. All right, so what is a dream board? A dream board is, it could be like a piece of oak tag. And remember when you were a little kid and you make collages of everything you wanted? You know, you put people's pictures on it, and well, what you're supposed to do, and you have to do this, and I'll tell you why. A dream board is you take yourself and put yourself in any scenario, anything you want. If you want to drive, I don't know, a 2011 SL 600 Mercedes convertible in black with a leather interior, you have to put a picture of yourself in the convertible on the board. If you want to visit, I don't know, you want to go visit the pyramids of Giza and you want to go walk up the pyramids this coming year, you have to go get the pyramids of Giza, put them on the board, and put your face on the picture of the pyramid so you can go visit the pyramid. If you want to be the Monopoly man from Monopoly and own, I don't know, $500 million or $500,000, whatever your number is, you got to go get the little Monopoly man's hat, put it on your head, put yourself in the picture, and put yourself on the board. If you want to travel with your family, if you want to go out and do this, if you want to do charity work, maybe you want to go visit and feed people that don't have any food all around the world. Maybe you want to be Mother Teresa. Maybe you want to be, I don't know, whoever you want to be. You got to put it on the board, and here's why, okay? And listen to me. If you don't put it on a board that you can see, it's not real. If you have all these dreams in your head, but you never put them down on paper or put them on a board, they're not real, they're not going to come true. But I can promise you this, if you take your dreams and you put them on a dream board, and you look at that board every day, and you visualize yourself doing those things every day, I promise you, you're going to make some of those dreams come true, if not all of them. That's the way it works. That's one of the secrets of the super wealthy. They not only think about what they want, they put what they want in front of them and make it real to them so they're seeing it. Your brain does not know the difference between reality and fantasy. Your brain does not. When it looks at a picture of you at the pyramids of Giza on a 1-month outing to the Middle East, it sees you in an outing in the Middle East. It doesn't know it's not real. It's only not real if you say it's not real and don't make it be real. So whatever you want, put down and put it in front of you and look at it and visualize and dream about it. Did you get that one, guys? I know the food is coming. I know it looks good, but stay with me, okay? I need to know there's a pulse in the room. Look at me, nod at me. That's good. Thank you very much. Okay, and then the next quality of super successful people, they have attitude support. Now, what does attitude support mean? Basically, these are positive people. Now, I know you hear this all the time, and you just say, yeah, positive thoughts. Okay, well, let me give you the basics on positive thoughts. If you go through your day and 85% of your thoughts are not positive, if you don't have at least an 85 percentile of thoughts that are positive, you're going to fail that day. You're going to fail because you're creating what you want based on what you think. And if you want to succeed in that day and in your life, 85% minimum of your thoughts must be positive. Must be positive. Now, again, you know, I don't know what kind of day you had today. I basically have a great day every day, and I'm not being corny, I'm being real. Even if people around me are having a tough day and trying to push that onto me, it doesn't take away from my day. I learned how to train myself to have a great day, even when other people are saying, you're going to have a lousy day because I'm having a lousy day. It doesn't have to be that way. And another quick example, okay? Probably the worst thing that we can go through would be the death of a loved one.